Sister Jacqueline of Jesus Mary, we are here this evening for this great day as you make your solemn profession. It is true that in all religious professions, most people are amazed and certainly full of admiration for those who undertake such priestly or religious vocations in life. In their mind, they are wondering, why did this person choose this kind of life?
I just never really thought so much about serving in prayer and all that until one fine day, the group of my Youth in the Spirit Seminar teammates, they actually went for this prayer rally at Risen Christ. And one of my facilitators' friend was praying during that session, and we were told to put our hands on another person. And I put my hand on this other guy's shoulder, and I actually prayed for him. And after the session, he was actually crying and crying and crying. So he shared that when I was praying over him, he felt that sense of peace. So that was the time when I realized, oh, prayer could do something to someone's life. And while serving in the intercessory prayer group at Amplify Ministry, I met one friend. I remember sharing with her about who our favourite saints was. And I remember the two of us, we were like, oh, actually our favourite saints was St. Teresa of Avila and St. Therese of Lisieux. And talking about these saints fired us up. I was interested in the Carmelite order. I liked St. Therese, and I saw how the sisters were dressed. They actually dressed exactly like the saints. In that sense, it was a superficial attraction, but yet it seems like God has been calling me to the area of prayer to serve Him. I remember during that time, I was still very hesitant about joining religious life. I'm like, oh God, please don't call me. Call someone else! And for me, because at that time, my career path is my main focus. And this friend of mine, Karen, who joined the Carmelite order, I realized that I couldn't just be talking about it. I couldn't just not take any action. But I guess when I see her really enter, that gave me the courage also. I started to journey with the sisters here as well. And I guess after 1 year of journey, I realized that I should just try out the way of life here. So I joined the order. This is it. This is the final destination. I found my vocation, but I realized it wasn't that clear-cut and it wasn't that straightforward because I was actually struggling inside. I was actually hovering between the thought of leaving and staying. But eventually I left and I didn't know what to do with my life after that. I felt like I lost my sense of purpose. It took me 1.5 years of discerning, and finally one fine day during a silent retreat, I was actually reading a book on discernment, and in that book it states these words: one should listen to one's heart, because the memories of Carmel keep coming back. Amplify Ministry have been praying for me. And during one prayer session, one of the ministry members actually whispered this thing into my ears, saying that God loves you even if it means going out and coming back. That line also gave me the courage to somehow make my way back here again. Although externally I could be free to do what I want to do and all that, but internally I felt that I wasn't free.
All priestly religious vocations, we have one thing in common. We are motivated by love. It is love that drives us to do what we are called to do. St. Teresa, her child Jesus herself, she was struggling to find her usefulness in the convent. Therefore, she reflected the most essential dimension of the heart, and this heart is love. It is love that has driven the apostles to proclaim the good news, to lift their family. It is love that has caused the martyrs to die for the faith. Everything is motivated by love.
Carmelite sisters basically leads a life of prayer, penance and solitude. As our foundress, St. Teresa of Avila, says that prayer is nothing more than friendship with God. And it is through this friendship with God we start to deepen our relationship with Him. Sometimes you cannot measure the fruit of it, but this is actually an act of faith in God. I realized it was through all these little instances of learning how to die to myself that I actually found freedom doing the will of God. And doing the will of God actually gave one's sense of peace and a sense of freedom as well. I guess even up to this point of time, I realized my vocation is still not that clear-cut because even to the point of deciding whether to take that step forward to take my final vow, I still wasn't sure. I still was doubting God whether is this life really for me or not. But I guess the consoling thing is when I look back and see how far I've come on this journey, I realize that God was always there with me, and He has been giving me the grace and the skill set to actually live out this way of life. It's not because of my own good works or my skills or talents. God just simply calls who He wants to call, and God has chosen me for this way of life. So in that, I trust in God.
And I pray that we too will continue to support Sister Jacqueline, and that she will continue to be faithful to the Lord, and that she will continue to fall in love with the Lord over and over again, so that in this way she can truly bring the love of God to others. She continues to pray for us, and she continues to minister to those who come to this monastery. So let us pray that we too join Sister Jacqueline in her desire, and I'm sure the community will support you.